Hello, I'm Hikaru. Here's another review for you. Sit back, relax, and... Table tennis was something that I first came across back in high school, in my PE class. But I suck, so not much of a story to that, is there? Spawned first as a serialized manga by Taiyo Matsumoto, Ping Pong had been sitting tight in its warm place as a well-known live-action film, before finally having someone take notice after 12 flippin' years. All jokes aside, I do find this show to be one that's genuinely good. I mean really, I don't want to spoil the result of an already spoiler-heavy review, but hey, nothing worth crying over.
Oh my dear God. Are you one of those single-tier people? Do I look like a double fucking rainbow to you? You must be upset. Are you upset?
As you can infer from its name, it has the usual set menu of any conventional sports anime, is what I'm horrified to say, but luckily these conventions only form a very small part of this vivid spiral of character interaction. I just really wanted to say that. Ping Pong started off blazingly with a confusing intro that came off as absurd. It almost felt like a rite of passage. Luckily enough though, despite being a simpleton, I pressed on, dug deeper, and my god did I struck gold. Without even feeling the pressure, Ping Pong knew where it was heading in its lightning speed, fast-paced narrative, catching my attention in a heartbeat. But what really made me stay for good were the powerful lineup of characters that was so good they could have been playing anything. Be it basketball, soccer, even golf for God's sake.
Quick putt that should go left at the hole.
他的弱点在哪儿？ 我不能就这么在这完蛋了！我绝不能就这么完蛋了！ Even if the cast of characters were nowhere near original, the way they evolved throughout the duration of the 11 episodes was, for a lack of a better word, incredible. It establishes itself as a deep and emotional character study where you get to indulge yourself in each of the characters' past traumas and experiences, and these build up the story's weight towards the end. Through flashbacks, of course. At first comes as a natural, confusing, and at the same time surreal. It is in these little moments where you get the feeling that the person responsible for the writing had a great understanding of the human psyche, a person who knows people and studies them, not someone who just fantasizes about boobs in his room to make him feel better. You feel like you can relate with the characters even if you've never actually been under immense pressure, nor put under competitive circumstances. Because if you've ever lived in this earth long enough, you know the frustration of not being good enough. The feeling that your dreams will never manifest themselves physically due to a lack of talent or nerve, and you beat yourself up for that. And this is where I roughly segue into maturity. Maturity in anime isn't usually something that's taken seriously in both the consumer and creator side. A lot of the times it's just excessive blood, societal taboos, etc. I can kind of understand the many condescending remarks toward anime because of this, but it's when gold mines like Ping Pong come up that make me go because the show itself exemplifies what a proper seinen anime should be. You won't be able to understand the characters and appreciate them for what they're going through if you're still slightly juvenile, as maturity in this anime comes through shifts in colloquial contexts. Believe it or not, I actually loved every single one of them from start to finish, regardless of how widely different they are. Kong's my favorite, by the way. If you look close enough, you'll notice that the series tries to pull off spotlighting each and every one of them. It's great. You get to see different sides to the characters, and you'll momentarily find yourself looking at them as more than mere two-dimensional creations. Or maybe not. Pingu Pongu has balls. Balls is what this show got. It takes a lot of balls and effort to write characters in a somewhat messy light, and to release something so avant-garde looking in this day and age. The guys behind this are something else. Appropriately, the director's Masaaki Yuasa, a guy who hasn't really done anything special besides Cat Soup, Mind Game, Tatami Galaxy, Kick Heart! Everyone knows how obvious Yuasa's style is, to the point that it's painfully so. I mean, when you look at it, you can tell it's Yuasa. It's wild, it's out there. And while we're on the topic of recognizing the staff's work, I don't know, I didn't Google translate it. The voice actor of Kong Wenga, instead of ruining the atmosphere created when having non-native speakers speak the language,
Are you Yamato Takeru no Mikoto?
you get something that's nothing short of orgasmic.
外公那个打得很生硬啊，不如削球的。
So far, despite how cloyingly positive I've been with this anime, it's impossible to have zero flaws. Unsurprised by the apparent butt hurt numerous people have been crying to their mums about, what I feel do kind of jibe. Although being quite the spectacle from a creative and directional perspective, there were some serious technical faults in the animation, like how it just uses stills like a madman, or how a collage of clips are placed on the screen and sequentially run through, and what the fuck are these guys supposed to be? But besides the jarringly inconsistent animation, it's slightly in the predictable side plot-wise, with the match outcomes. Okay, now it's Ping Pong. We're talking about Ping Pong, guys. Everything's been calculated and predetermined up to the last draw. Pretty much it follows a traditional format of storytelling, with how Pecco gets his ass handed to him at first, and finally becomes the hero at the end. After a few puffs and Twinkies of course, ultimately getting the girls. Moreover, it can get a bit cheesy and unpleasant as the story progresses with depictions of togetherness, love, and which might not be much to look forward to if you're too sociopathic. I don't know, might be too sweet for me. Eh? I can't stand much of that stuff, it's bullshit. Something to look forward to, however, is the ending. It's just everything I wish for in an ending. Most endings you see these days try to compact and end everything, forcing a conclusion that just spoils the overall foundation that was laid up to that point. But with only 11 episodes under its belt, it blew all my expectations away with how it took an emotional turn towards its climax. Composed of only a single focal point, information about all other characters in question was left up to implications brought about by past episodes. Jam-packed, powerful and surreal, cloaked under a blanket of simplicity, as well as being accompanied by compelling visuals, with an equally as compelling soundtrack. Congratulations, you've made a proper ending. Also, you might want to punch in the possibility of shedding a tear or two, and if you don't like that, then you're a pussy! Anyway, if you can look past the cover, then I can guarantee that you'll surely enjoy yourself. Ping Pong has a gripping, fast-paced story with fantastic characters, and I definitely recommend it to the typical anime aficionado, or just anyone looking for a brief pit stop in their journey with anime. You know what they say about the journey being a lot more important than the destination. In Ping Pong the animation, it truly is about the journey to find oneself and realize thy potential, to self-acceptance and contentment, to victory and happiness. That no matter how heavy the load you carry over your shoulders, you continue to push yourself because you believe that what lies beyond the horizon is what you truly wish for. Or some bullshit like that.
Brought to the love, believe so, wish I forever.